And with me today is Bernadette Russo. Bernadette will be showing you our new participant portal that we're very excited about, and we're also recording today's webinar for anyone who can't join us live today. You can submit questions as we go along, and we'll address those at the end of the demo. So now I'll turn it over to Bernadette to show you our new participant portal as of tomorrow, September 1.
Thank you, Pam. This is what our new portal homepage looks like. And when you first sign onto it, I wanted to make sure to have you see our little guy who pulls our logo over, because we're kind of excited about that. One of the things I wanted to point out right away was that this website is available to participants and their family members prior to them ever logging on to their account. So for instance, if there was an open enrollment meeting this morning and I wanted to go home and tell my significant other what an FSA means, I would be able to log onto this page and go directly to this resources section. And let's say I want to know about an FSA. So I would click on the FSA resources, and it's going to bring up, we have a video library, we have tools and calculators, we have online resources, and frequently asked questions. So for instance, in the video library, I'm going to play just a couple of short videos for you.
Interactive presentation on flexible spending accounts, or FSAs. It's more important than ever to become an informed healthcare and employee benefits consumer. The education and tools within this presentation can help you do just that. Simply click a topic to get started.
And then depending on what the person wants to look at, what is an FSA, how does an FSA work, how does a dependent care work, or we're going to just click on the FSA and me, and I'll show you what that's all about. But please take note of our soccer player. We like him too.
Let's take a look at an example to learn more about how FSAs work and how you can benefit. This is Jenny. Jenny is making $30,000 a year. She makes a pre-tax contribution of $1,800 per year toward her FSA. This amounts to $75 per paycheck, or $150 per month. Because of this, Jenny would pay income taxes on only $28,200. And when she pays for certain health care expenses, she can use her FSA funds to pay these expenses tax-free. For Jenny, that's a savings of about $22 per month, or $270 per year.
And what the other two are just two other examples of other income levels. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of what the FSA video library looks like. We also have tools and calculators. And this is, we used to send out a sheet with our open enrollment packets about how much to contribute to your FSA. This is actually a little wizard that they will go through, or that you will go through, and you put in the out-of-pocket limit, the deductible amount, so on and so forth, and just click through the wizard, and at the end it will tell you about what you should be contributing to your FSA. The other nice thing is on the, I'm sorry if you can hear noise in the background. They're mowing the grass right outside my window, but you know, life goes on. So the FSA expenses, this is a great tool to use if you're not sure if whatever the service is going to be allowed. So let's take, for instance, teeth whitening. So if you search teeth whitening, a little box is going to come up that says you cannot include this in those medical expenses. There's also an entire list here of what is included and what isn't included. So that's another great tool that everyone will have right at their fingertips. All right, so let's say it's time now for me to sign in. Oh, actually, I've already signed in. Let me log out for a second. It's time for me to sign into my account. And the first time that you come in here, you're going to have to register. And what that entails is you'll get an email in the mail, or an email, excuse me, saying what your user ID is, and then you'll have to enter a username and your user ID, as well as some, make up a password and put in some demographic information, and then you click register. And this is the only information that's required to register for the account for the first time. The next time you come to the site, you would just want to log in, and my user is EEDemo. You put in the username, and the next screen that's going to come up, when you register, you actually had to fill out some personal questions that are password related, so that if you do forget your password, or it's just a security feature like they have any banking sites and those types of things have these days. So we'll just answer his questions. And the next screen will be our password. And you sign in. So now the person will have access to all of the different screens within the site. I also would like to point out that this is a beta site for our portal. The live one, the production site, moves much more quickly, and that's the one that'll be live by tomorrow morning. First on the home page is there's this area right here. It's called the FSA store, Shop Now. And this is an area, if anyone has money that they need to spend out of their FSA or would like to spend on things like Band-Aids and sunscreens and eye care, and those can be purchased from this FSA store. And the only things that are on that website are eligible products. So they will be automatically adjudicated as well. Then across the top of the page are some quick links: view accounts, submit claims, add receipts, get help, report a card lost or stolen, and update your profile. So those are the 6 areas that most participants use all the time, so that's why they're the hot buttons. On the front of the page is your benefits account summary. EE happens to have an HRA. Oh, I see that people are having a little trouble hearing. Let me see if I can turn up my phone. Does that help any, if someone could let me know? So he has a health reimbursement account, an FSA, and a dependent care account. And he wants to go down into more detail about his account. You click on the account, benefit account details, and in this year, obviously, we're only going to be having current year, but next year you'll be able to see previous funds as well as the current year. And he wants to look at his FSA. We'll click on FSA. And you'll see, first of all, the plan year is listed, the annual election, his total contributions, the balance due, any payments that have been made, and how much is still left in his account. The next thing down below are the last 10 transactions. So there's another place that you can see every transaction that was ever done on the account. This is just the past, most recent 10 transactions. Then you can look at the account details, which this is a great graphic screen. It talks about how much has been spent, what the remaining balance is, and it does it with a pie chart as well. This one fund also happens to have the $500 rollover, and so that information will be listed right here. And then this timeline is a calendar. So this is the start date of the plan. This is today's date. This is the end date of the plan. This is the last day for spending, and this is the last day to submit claims. So hopefully that will help alleviate some questions to the HR department as well as to Arcadia, because it's all going to be right here for the participants. The next tab is the payroll information, and this talks about the payroll cycle. EE happens to have a weekly payroll. His employer does not contribute anything, but he contributes $48.12 for each pay period. And over here, we'll give you graphically, the green is how much he's contributed so far, and the blue is how much is remaining to be contributed for the balance of the year. And then if there are any dependents, they will be listed under the family details. In this case, EE has a dependent named Dependent Demo. So let's go to submit a claim, because that's what most people are going to be most interested in, is how are we going to get reimbursed for the money that we spent. The first thing that's going to pop up is an instruction sheet about how to fill in a claim. It's very easy, and then there's going to be a certification that you have to do. It says the expenses listed above have not been reimbursed prior. They must qualify for reimbursement under the IRS regulations, and they were incurred by me or my eligible dependents. So we're just, this is just a little, filing a claim is on easy and fast. You click Add New, so we're going to click Add New. And then we're just going to fill out this brief form. And right up on the top, it tells all the information that's needed in order for the claim to be processed easily and quickly. So let's pick a date. You can also type the date in here if you wish. Claim amount. We'll make it for EE. I want to have a check, and I'll show you too. There's also a way you can make a direct deposit back to yourself if you choose. And the provider will be Dr. Smith, and it's going to be for general medical. And now, if you have your receipt or your documentation already digitally on your computer, you can just upload it using this button. And I'll show you how that works. You just hit Browse, and I happen to have my claim form already here, and I'm going to add the file to the list. So now it's attached to there. If you have multiple receipts or multiple EOBs that you need to attach, you can do that here. You can do as many as you need. You can also send us a note, depending on what it is. And we will get that along with your claim. And then you hit OK. And then you certify what we talked about earlier, that the expense is first-time submission and that it's a valid expense, and then you hit Submit. This form will come up saying that congratulations, you've submitted this claim. Now, if for some reason I didn't have my receipt that I just uploaded, there's this View Receipt Submittal form that you can click on. And this is a form that you can print off and fax in with your claim paperwork if you would like to. And what this is, it gives some background of what the claim is submitted and what, if there were receipts. If it was submitted without a receipt, there's a barcode here you can see. And when you fax that in as a fax cover sheet with your receipts, that barcode is going to tell us which claim that those receipts belong to. So we will no longer have to match things up. We will know exactly what receipts and what claims go together. So our old system, if you're familiar with our old system, when you submitted a claim, everything had to process through overnight. And so you didn't really know if we received your claim or not. And so we get phone calls saying, you know, I submitted my claim, did you get it? We'd say yes, but we haven't processed it yet. Well, what you can do in this system, because it's real time, it's in the cloud, is you can just click on the claims pending section, and it's going to bring up a list of all the claims that are pending, that have not been processed yet. So for instance, let's go look at, let's see, I think it's got to be on the next page. Yeah, because they're in date order. So here's the claim that we just submitted, and it gives all these details for you. What was it for, general medical, the service date, who was it for, the doctor, and then it'll tell you the status, that it's entered but not reviewed. This little icon over here indicates that there was one receipt that was sent. In the future, if you hadn't uploaded the receipt and you wanted to now, then you could click this icon and a box will come up and allow you to, again, choose your file and send it to us. And then if for any reason you need to reprint that receipt submittal form, you can do it in this area as well. This My Expenses tab up at the top is another great feature of our new system. This you can think of as your own personal medical expense file cabinet. And what you can do is you can add a new expense every time you have it. So you can get it into the system, but you don't have to request reimbursement right at that moment. So again, it's a simple form to fill out. Date of service, who's the claimant for? Is it for me or is it for the dependent? The provider, the description, and then this information is what comes right off of your explanation of benefits. And you can also put notes in there and then upload the receipt. Then at any time going forward, you can look at the receipt, you can view the expense, you can edit it, you can throw it away, you can attach another, view the receipt that's already attached. And the really great thing is if you see this little dollar sign over here, if at any time down the road in the coming year, if I wanted to ask for reimbursement for that, I would just click on that green dollar sign and another little form will pop up and it says, you know, here's the claim that you want to submit it. You hit yes, and then you agree to the certification, and it automatically is sent to us as a claim. The other great thing is some people like to use their FSA funds for sort of a Christmas club. So you can store all your receipts in here all year long, and then, you know, on November 20th or whenever it is that you would like to submit your claim, you can just go in there, click all these buttons, and we will get the claims and we'll send you your Christmas money. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is the communications tab. One thing that's going to be really nice is that we have a lot of communications that are going to go out, like when we receive your claim, when we've processed it, when we're sending you a reimbursement, so that you really can be kept in the loop better on your account. And one of the things that's important is the communication preferences. This is all participant-based. You can, these are all the different communications that will go out, and what's great about it is, for instance, this account balance alert, the delivery method, you can have this none, like if you don't want to know when your balance is below $100, or we can send you an email, or we can send you a text message, or we can send you both. And you as a participant can change these at any time. The other thing you can do is if you get a new email address or change your email address, you can update your email right here. And you can also register mobile phone numbers, or if something changes, you can unregister one and put a new mobile phone number in there. Another area was view messages and communications. When we do send you out messages, in some instances you'll get an email from us or a text message that says, hey, you know, go check the portal because you've got something new to look at. And then it will be out here under the My Messages. And this is just an example. And then email alerts. Like for instance, here's this online claim that we just did a minute ago. We have received your claim that you submitted online. If it has a receipt, your submission, your claim will be processed within 2 business days. And then if you had mobile alerts set up, EE doesn't have, hasn't gotten any mobile alerts yet, so he doesn't have any out there. There's another button up here called enrollment, and that will only be used if the employer chooses for us to do open enrollment online. We still can do paper claims or paper forms, excuse me, or we can do it electronically if that's what they choose. The other thing that's important is the Contact Us page. From anywhere in the website, if you hit the Contact Us, which is on each page, our phone numbers, our email address, our street address are all coming up for you, as well as an email that's ready to be sent to us. So hopefully that'll make it easy for you to get a hold of us. I just want to make sure transaction history. I wanted to go back to the transaction history. So let's say you sent in a claim and we processed a reimbursement for you, and you couldn't remember for sure, you wanted to check and see what was going on with that claim. You can come back to your transaction history and click on any one of these claims. Let's try this one. This one was in July and it was approved. And if you click on this little button, it gives you all the details of the claim. So here it tells you the transaction details, how much the payment or how much the claim was processed for, what was eligible, what was approved, and then you can also check your reimbursement details. This one happens to be direct deposited for $5, and then you can also see which plan it was on. Another important thing to know about is your reimbursement preference. It's here on the left navigation pane. So right now, EE has his set to a check, meaning that when he's going to be reimbursed, we are going to mail him out a check. But let's say he changes his mind and he really wants to do a direct deposit. So you just fill out this information, the banking information, and it tells you exactly what you need, and you save it, and then it will be that particular reimbursement will be direct deposited. Our system is going to save this banking information so that in the future, if he continues to want direct deposits, he will not have to fill this out a second time. And if we're, at any time you need to upload a receipt to us, again, this just tells you what receipts, what has happened to the receipts that have already been uploaded. So I'm going to turn it back over to Pam to see if there's any questions we can answer for you. Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Actually, we only have one question today from the webinar, and that question is, the rollover is up to 500. Is that going to be updated, corrected in the website? Yes, based on anyone who, if a plan has that $500 rollover feature, if someone has a rollover from last year, that correct amount will be updated in their account balance as of tomorrow. Another question just popped in. Did the banking information move from the old system to the new system? Yes, we did migrate the data over. For anyone who had direct deposit before, we should have their correct routing and account number in the new system, so employees won't have to go back in and re-enter that. Another question. Oh, the questions are popping in. Okay, next question. Can you save more than one reimbursement preference? Actually, what you can do, you want to go in and choose a reimbursement preference. Let's say you have direct deposit, and that's your reimbursement preference. When you go in to process or submit a claim online, if you want to change that, you can do that in that specific screen. So you can go back and, for that specific claim, change it to a check. Next question, is there a cheat sheet for employees? One second, the questions are popping in here. I've got to go back a little bit. Is there a cheat sheet for employees on the steps they need to start taking tomorrow? We have not developed an employee portal profile yet, but I think your employees are going to find this to be so user-friendly, especially with the shortcut icons they see when they log into their account for the first time. That is on our to-do list, as well as an employer portal, kind of a reference guide. That's in the works. Next question. If we use the FSA debit card and backup is needed for the purchase, where do we enter that? It was very difficult for us to put any type of debit card transactions here in the demo portal, but employees will be able to see those transactions, and they can assign specific documentation to that transaction. Next question, are you going over the employer portal changes? We actually recorded a sneak preview of the employer portal, and if you weren't able to view that, you can go to the homepage of our website, which is arcadiabenefits.com, and you'll find that in the lower right-hand corner. It's a video presentation that goes over the employer portal, and again, we're going to be sending out a reference guide for your use. We think you'll find it to be very user-friendly. Someone said, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Is there anything that we need to know about the HRA process? The HRA claims will show in the same screen. Obviously, employees can submit claims in the same manner as an FSA claim, and that shouldn't be any different. Do we need to download a new mobile app? Yes, we are coming out with a new mobile app. As of this morning, the mobile app wasn't yet available, but it should be hopefully by tomorrow. Just have your employees go out to the App Store or to Google Play and search for Arcadia Benefits, and it will show Arcadia Benefits Wealth Care, and that new mobile app can be downloaded. Our old map has been taken off the App Store and Google Play. Let me see, next question. Oh, the previous person who was asking about a reimbursement preference. If you have two bank accounts and you want to alternate reimbursements to those, how does that work? You would have to go in, and if you want to change the bank account, direct deposits are going to, you would have to go into that reimbursement preference and enter your new bank account information. We don't have the ability to reimburse you a portion to one bank account and another portion to a different bank account. Next question, can you still fax over claims? Absolutely. We have new claim forms on the homepage of our website under the Quick Links section. The claim forms can also be found here on the participant portal, and they can be faxed versus having someone go in and submit them online. Absolutely, no change there. Will the administrator use the same user ID and password for their for their HR account when logging in for the first time? No, that's something that has changed with our new platform. If you're participating in the FSA or HRA plan, you'll have a different login, user login through the participant portal that we just showed you. And tomorrow we're going to be sending out employer user IDs and temporary passwords, and you'll be using a different employer portal as an HR administrator. The next question, if dependent receipts exceed payroll deductions, will the claims continue to pay up to the receipt amounts? I'm assuming you're talking about for a dependent care FSA, and yes, the participant can submit claims, and if they exceed the amount in their account, as deductions are posted, those will automatically pay out the way they do now. Next question. Oh, I see. This is a question that's already been answered. So we'll move on. What should we do if employees have not yet received their debit cards? You can contact our office and tell us which employees have not received their cards, and we'll certainly track them and get back to you as soon as possible. So that looks like all of the questions that we've had so far, and we want to thank you sincerely for joining us today. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to call our office or send an email. And that concludes today's webinar. Have a great day.